We're outside the MBX Films Theater. We're looking at Spider-Man Homecoming. Usually we would open up a Marvel Legends figure, as we're seeing here. But I'm going to try and open up this basic series figure of the Shocker. It's kind of a representation of the Shocker in Spider-Man Homecoming. It's a pretty tiny role, so you might have kind of almost missed the reference to the comic book supervillain, the Shocker. We'll just talk about how accurate this is to the movie, kind of. And if this is any good to put with your Marvel Legends figures at all. I like to have a variety of characters. That's why I really like to collect Star Wars and have tons of characters, or Marvel Legends and have lots of characters from all the individual movies. So anywhere I can kind of shoehorn in an extra character. There's no Marvel Legends figure of the MCU Shocker, so this basic line, we're going to try it out, open it up, see how it compares. So let's do that. I have some other Marvel Legends figures from Spider-Man Homecoming here that we'll be able to compare him to. Obviously his number one problem is probably going to be that he's a shorty boy. He's going to be a little short, but we'll see how he goes here. Because again, in the line, you know, you'd have other basic figures. There's like a Vulture with, you know, kind of smaller wings that can fit into a smaller package like this. These would be the figures I would get as a kid. I don't know if, I think the Marvel Legends would have been too expensive, but the problem would have been that they only make a few characters, so a little bit of a bummer there. But I say we open it up and see how it goes. Why not? We got classic action figure bubble packaging for them. Not like a Marvel Legends figure. A little more crazy packaging. Tear off the old card. Pop him out of there. Of course he comes with nothing, which is kind of sad. It's really in there. So as I suspected, he's pretty much a 5-point figure. Interesting backpack there, probably that's powering his thingies or what. Okay, so the saddest part is probably he's as tall as the MJ. I think he was probably a taller dude in the movie. But lucky for us, Spider-Man figure's pretty short, so it sizes up okay with Spider-Man, but Spider-Man's supposed to probably be smaller than that character was. So where you're going to run into the problem is his boss is towering over him, the Vulture. So, but I think there's probably some ways we could display him to make sure he doesn't look so short. But another issue would probably just be the look, that the Shocker never really looked like this in the movie. He never wore the mask. You were just supposed to get the Shockerness out of kind of the one-liner from the Vulture berating the first guy, because there's actually two Shocker characters in the movie. At least guys using the weapons made from the Chitauri stuff and all that, scavenged. But I think in the movie he always only ever had one glove on, if I'm recalling that right. But it did pretty much look like this, and I would say the jacket here does look like the first guy that was the Shocker in the movie, with the beard and beanie. And then the bald guy, I think the pants look more like him, and then they both had the yellow striped jacket, because that's kind of the Shocker's look, is that pattern with the yellow. But they never donned the mask, so I think maybe you're just supposed to imagine in that world that he probably had jobs of stealing stuff for the Vulture where he was masked up like that. They're meeting with the Prowler in the one scene with the first Shocker selling some gear, so it'd be pretty awesome to see that guy as that character also, just for extra Spider-Man characters. But I don't think either one of them ever had the shoulder things. That just kind of covers up. So this is kind of an amalgamation of the two Shockers and then the mask, just so you're not picking one guy or the other. And you're going more comic book with the color. I think you had maybe more of a different colored jacket, both of them, and then giving him the two shock gauntlets to be more like the comic book also. And the feet, the boots, metal boots, I don't think either one ever used that either. I suppose the second actor did have a jacket that covered the shoulders. So I don't know, I just like to be able to represent as many characters as I'm offered through various figure lines. And he's not to scale very well, but maybe we could get a little, we could get a soapbox or something he could stand on in the collection, put him up, or use a stand like this, the flight kind of stand of him doing kind of a jump shot or something like that. Not that his poses are going to have too many options or anything, but if only you could maybe turn these, he'd be more looking like Shocker shooting out the shock waves. For the look, this is just not particularly movie accurate, other than the sleeves and, you know, the weaponry. But I can't let a good comic character like that slip by that, you know, is a costumed with special abilities like that. I don't want to. I would like to have that represented in mine. So this guy's a little short. It's just a basic figure. He does look pretty nice with just the combination of, he's got a lot of different colors and textures going on, so he doesn't look too bad. You could maybe do a black wash and get some black into the pattern to make it stand out even more. Because that's really the key that's making him look like the Shocker, is that yellow with the stripe pattern and the weapons. So. You know, you could always just have him knocked out on the ground from getting taken out by Spider-Man. So that might be the best place for him. He got taken out. So if you want to represent that character, I don't think we'll probably get to see much Shocker action. I would welcome it if he did, you know, get the mask and all that, and they did some kind of Sinister Six combination as they start building up more villains, but I don't know, we'll see. If you want to see me open the MJ pack or Vulture and things, we'll link those videos here. I did do unboxings for them. If you see this for cheap somewhere, I would say he's pretty worth just sneaking into your Marvel Legends collection. Just to be like, oh yeah, I got the Shocker in there. Just as kind of a, ooh, whoa, it's a bonus. Not a lot of people are going to be doing that. So I also did a basic line review of the Rhino from Black Panther. And you can check that out. We'll link that video too. See how that kind of fits into Marvel Legends stuff. Oh, I just like to sneak in extra little cool things like that that maybe a lot of people aren't going to have because it isn't really part of the line, but it is MCU, because I just collect the MCU for Marvel figures, so, of the movies. But I kind of like the Shocker. I mean, worst case scenario, I was going to have to give this away to, you know, a kid or something, get him a Spider-Man figure, and I think I'll just do that anyway, but I'm going to keep a Shocker for myself, because I kind of like it. Would have liked to see him all dressed up like this in the movie. You're the Shocker, you shock people, huh? Yeah.